Hey guys, if you have a barbecue restaurant or you love barbecue, it might be helpful to learn how to build a picnic table. Today I'm going to show you the best design that I found for a great 6-foot picnic table, and I hope it helps you out. Y'all stay tuned.
Smokehouse by you. You ain't never had it so good. Smokehouse by you.
All right, your material list is short. You're gonna need some basic carpentry tools. Let's go ahead and get started. We need 9 72-inch boards. So this is a 6-foot table, so I'm gonna get started on that. All right, look, I got the tops cut for the top of the table and the benches, all right? But a 2x6x12 is actually about an inch longer than 12 feet. I cut them 72 inches, then I trimmed that last inch off. I've got 9 pieces that are going to be the tops where you sit and the top of the table. Now I'm going to set the table up on these sawhorses upside down, and we're going to start fastening our legs and our braces. Okay, on this next step, you're going to lay your boards out with the worst looking sides facing up, because you're going to be working on this table from the bottom. And you're also going to place a spacer in between each board. We just used a screw, like you can see, and that will give it room to expand and contract as the weather and the heat changes. You're going to use 5 boards for the top of the table and 2 boards for each seat. Okay, after we get our spacers in, I'm just going to measure each end of the table just to make sure that we've got it indeed square before we attach our bracing on the bottom. All right, so our boards are square. We're going to put our middle brace there. Okay, we've got our tabletop squared up. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a center brace that goes across each piece there. So all you need to do is measure in half the distance. In this case would be 3 feet from each end, and that's going to be the center of your brace board. And we're going to cut angled cuts on this brace board so you won't bump your knee on it when you sit down. Now for this center bracing, I'm going to use a simple 2x4 treated 2x4, and I'm also going to cut it about an inch shorter than the width of the table. So again, that'll give you some clearance for your knees. All right, we got our brace cut for the center, and I'm using 2 1/4 inch screws. We're just gonna sink this down in there and stack them. Just stagger your screws as you move down the brace, and just put 2 in each tabletop board. All right, now we're going to cut the top of the top brace for the A-frame legs here, and it's going to be a 28-inch cut. All right, since we need 2 of these braces, let's go ahead and use this one as a template and mark the other one. Get it cut. Brace is going to be sitting like this, right? So the legs are going to come up and people are going to be entering from this side. So what I think is an improvement over the table that we got is we're actually going to cut an angle right here. That way if you are getting in that table, you won't catch your leg on that. So we did that on this brace. I think it'd be good to do it on this brace. So that's what I'm going to do. And I believe, let's see, if you come over here and look, you can see with this square here, we're going to pivot this around, and I think a good 15-degree angle. Well, let's go 20. No, I'm going to go 15. I'm making this up as I go. But we're going to do a 15-degree angle right here. That'll give us plenty of board to screw into, but also when this sets up, it's going to be at a little angle there that'll give you some relief if you're sliding your legs in there. We'll do that. All right, I got the square here, and we've got this squared up. We're going to come in about 9 1/4 9¼ there, so that's square. Now what I'm gonna have to do is probably pull this back. I'm gonna come in from this side and sink one on this end and one on that end just to hold it. And then we'll cut and attach the legs. All right, just putting those two in place are gonna hold this together for me. We're gonna cut for the legs, put well, we're actually gonna put that brace on again, or first. Then we're gonna cut for the legs. Then when we flip this thing over, I'll be able to go back and finish this off, securing it to the top of the table. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cut the other two ends of the next brace, that 15-degree angle. Then we'll secure it, get it in place, and get ready to cut for the legs. Hey, one good thing about building this table upside down is you got a ready-made workbench. Woo! All right, we're gonna cut the legs now. It's a 32-inch cut, and it's gonna be a parallel cut with a 20-degree angle for the necessary angle for this table to sit on the ground and make up the angle of the legs. So we've got to start 32 inches down this side, and then this side needs to be 32 inches this way. So that'll be fun. All right, so we got our square there on the angle. We're gonna go to 20 degrees here. So we're gonna mark this side. And then we're gonna come up here and mark the same angle, 32 inches from the bottom and 32 inches this way. So, let's pull that. So when we cut these two lines, they should be theoretically in parallel, and that'll give us our first table leg. Let's see if it works. Like that might work. Now that I have the first leg cut, I'm just going to simply use it as the template for the other three legs. All right, we're going to go ahead and attach that first leg. I'm going to go ahead and sink a screw in just a little ways so it'll make it easier when we go to attach it. Now look, I just pretty much eyeballed where I put the leg, maybe just on the inside, about an inch inside of the leading edge of that brace. You know that moment right before you realize you screwed up? Man, you're really proud of yourself, and then you discover you made a mistake. All right, I made a mistake. These are actually supposed to go on the inside here. So it wouldn't be a Brian Ducharme project if you didn't have to do something else again. Doing things over is pretty much my specialty. All right, so learn from my mistake. When you go to attach the legs, go to the inside of the brace, the inside. Where's Luke Phillips when you need him? All right, I got the legs moved to the inside. Now the other two on the other side of the table, and we will have all four legs on the table. All right, now that we have all four legs attached, it's time to cut and attach the brace that actually holds the boards for the seating. All right, I'm gonna use this square the way you're seeing to kind of help me keep this tape squared up there as I'm doing my measurements. We're gonna pull down 10 5/8, 10 5/8, and that's where the bracing is gonna sit. Okay, I'm measuring for the braces here. Look, it's a 60-inch cut. That's what we're cutting right there, 5 foot. And we're going to cut 2 of them, 1 for each side. That'll take care of that brace that the seating is resting on. Okay, this picture is going to give you approximately what your measurements are going to be to attain a 17.5-inch seat height. Okay, there's some fluidness here because it depends on how you put your braces in, but if you'll look at this picture, these are very close approximations on the measurements that you're going to have to hit to get that 17.5-inch seat height, and that's very comfortable for most people. Alright, if you look at this picture, you can see that when I line up the brace, when I get it in line with the lines drawn on the legs, that the brace is going to extend on both sides about 12.5 inches. So go ahead and mark your board there, and that's pretty much splits the difference to put your seats on, and that's how you can line it up if you're by yourself putting this thing together. Alright, I'm going to put about 4 good screws in this particular board on each leg. You could also go back and put a good sized bolt in between there if you wanted to steady it up even more. I found that these screws have it pretty steady, but a bolt with some good washers on it certainly wouldn't hurt here. Well, it wasn't long before quality control showed up.
Just knew I'd need some supervision.
All right, we get that other brace on, and we're not far from having a picnic table on our hands. Okay, take a look at this picture. The next step is for us to build the brace that's going to go from that middle cross brace down to the bottom brace that we just attached to the legs, and that's going to give this table a lot of stability. Again, your measurements here are going to vary. Now, as things go, we missed the footage on how to draw the angle on that particular cross brace, okay? But this is all you're going to do. You're going to take that 2x4 and you're going to set it on that middle brace, the bottom edge, and you're just going to draw that line straight up. That'll be your angle. You're going to do the same thing on the other side with the legs. It's easy peasy. You'll figure it out.
Alright, we got our brace coming from the leg down to the middle. We're fixing to do our other one. And you can see that's shorted up real good, and we don't even have the screws in the top yet, so it looks like we're heading in the right direction anyway.
Now, when you attach the brace to the center, you might have to toenail it in. That's what we chose to do. Just come from the edge of the board.
Yeah.
Well, like Chess says, if you were building pianos, it'd matter, but this ain't pianos.
All right, let's flip this table over. Now the moment of truth. Let's see if we built it level or not.
Table, please.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Might help that the porch is that high. I don't know.
Not like this. The concrete's got that much drop. That's about right.
And I'll tell you, what I like is it just feels super solid. So,
All right, the thing to do now that we've got the table flipped over is to just get all the screws in there that we couldn't do it since it was upside down. So we're attaching the tops here, and next we're going to put the seats on, and we'll have this thing wrapped up.
about 9 5/8.
Okay, the overhang on the seat is roughly 9 5/8, but it's not rocket science, man. All you want to do is know that you're dealing with a 6-foot board, and you want to measure from the outside of each brace, and then just subtract it and split the difference, and you got the place to put your seats in, and you are about done with this wonderful project. And I tell you, we have loved our picnic table. It is very stable. It's probably the best design I've come across. Now, just like you have a space on your top boards, you want to have a space between your seat boards as well.
All right, I'm gonna get the seat squared up, get these last 2 in, then we have a table. Now look, I am gonna come back at probably tomorrow or whatever and hit this thing with a sander, because you definitely want to knock the rough edges off, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's very solid, and we should come back in and put those bolts like I told you, and that'll help maintain that the integrity of this table. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I know it's a little bit different than what I normally do, but hey, you know, when it comes to barbecue, at some point in time, if you're moving any barbecue, you're gonna have to figure out how to build a picnic table, because you're gonna need them. So anyway, hey, if you would hit a thumbs up on the video, go back, watch some of our playlists. Man, we put a lot of work into our channel. I hope y'all enjoy it, and when you hit the thumbs up or you subscribe, that helps us tremendously with the algorithm and YouTube. Y'all know all that, but we appreciate any support that we can get. So I hope y'all have a great night, and we'll talk to you later.
You know one thing though?
What?
Your honey-do list just got bigger.
I'm gonna have to build one for the house.
Yup.
I've just been informed. Y'all have a good night.